Today is February 17th of 2025, and these two cards are very significant today. It is the Star card and the Judgment card. The Star card is also the tarot significator for Aquarius. So, with everything going on, I thought I would have my tea with you today. And just so you know, I go to bed with the chickens and I get up with the chickens. Actually, I don't even go to bed, hardly. I just stay up with the chickens. But don't worry, I don't wake up in a different world every day. What I do wake up to is this. So good morning, my friends, and thank you so much for having tea with me today. I'm having a little bit of London fog tea. Now, that is something probably that our friends across the pond does not really know or probably doesn't want to know. But it is a combination of Earl Grey, lavender tea, and just a little bit of cream and a little bit of honey. And believe me, I get started on those and they happen all day long. And sometimes I even forget to eat, which is not a good thing. I'm Lady Zelda. Thank you so much for being here, seeing crime this very early Monday morning, February 17th of 2025. And what I want to do is lay out some cards, because right now we have a juror topic on our minds from Karen Reed's case and what's going on with the juries, what's going on actually in Massachusetts especially. And I want to see if these two cards come out. I'll explain these two cards in a little bit, but let's just see if they show up in the reading, and if they do, we'll stop the reading and talk about them. And no matter what, we're going to talk about them. So we're going to put these to the side just for a minute. Now, we're going to let's take a look at the cloth. And there's been a lot of energy around here. And oh, do you see a dog? I sure do. Look at his mouth. There's his little nose. Here's the bridge of his nose. Goes up. There's some ears. There's his little eye. There's a lot going on, energy-wise. Just a lot. A lot of doggies, paw prints, so forth coming out. Do you think that's Chloe? Might be her energy coming through. Spirits, guides, angels were asking for, and there went our first card for today. We're going to draw a second one, and we're going to see what they are. Spirits, guides, angels were asking for guidance and direction. And at the same time, I'm going to be asking, will you please do a favor and subscribe to this channel? Click the like button, click the notification bell, share, comment. I love to read your comments. I can't answer all of them, but I try. And I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so thankful. And what you hear in the background are the kitties playing, so nothing paranormal, not today anyway. So here we go, my darlings. A message. Yes, a message is coming through. In the courthouse. Absolutely. Let's see what this first card is. A gift. Oh, yeah, this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving, believe me, because now we have Mark Betterow that will definitely be contributing to the team. One way or another, he's going to be there. He's already contributed. I just want you to know. I love it. And you should too. Don't be disheartened. There's our Karen. Do not be disheartened by all this stuff coming out about the jury. Because listen, people are taking notice. And I want you to know that people in the higher ups, the people that can make change, the people that are doing things, the people that are showing things, believe me, showing things as in documents, paperwork, to the powers that be, are taking care of things. And I'm going to take a break just a second until this kitty is done with his little ball. Be right back. Thank you. All is right with the rain, and that was Shaggy Noodle, if you'd like to know. So people are taking notice. It's amazing what can happen during this time. You see, the one thing with corruption, in my opinion, is that they don't want to give up. They want to hang on because they feel, they being the bad actors, always feel that if they hang on, that sort of kind of proves that they're right. They don't give in, they don't give up, and yet they continue on. And in the end, this is going to turn out very bad for many of them that are involved. Karen will be triumphant. There will be some high honors for her. She is going down in history of history in the history books of Massachusetts and the United States and even in the world. People are now sitting up and taking notice because of some of these motions that I have been told by the legal beagles, and I've heard, that are direct Brady violations. We've got Rule 14's direct Brady violations. And look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not an expert in those areas, but I am an expert in tarot. But I keep learning every day. And I am a tarot reader, tarot profiler, and a psychic medium. And I want to thank you for being here. Let's lay out some more cards. Now, this is a combination. We're using this for a purpose today. This is a combination playing card deck and tarot deck. So we're going to get the best of all worlds. Here we are. Now, I have to turn the deck because I do not read in reverse. All right, so let's do this. I want to see what is on the bottom of the deck. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we are. How appropriate. How beautiful. And no, Karen is not the fool. Well, we can say some other people are fools, but that's not what this is about. You see, there's a 0 here. This little number up here, just like that one. Oh, and look, we've got a Gemini there. That one is called a key. The key to the tarot, the key to the card. Now, even though this says a 0 or this little 0, which is considered to be null, N-U-L-L, that is null, N-U-L-L, this is the first card in the deck, even though it's 0. The reason being is because the Fool begins his journey. And sometimes you have to start a journey over and over and over and over again. But this is a card that says we are about to wipe the slate clean. And the defense team is preparing for retrial 2.0. I guess it's trial 2.0. Wiping the slate clean means they get a do-over, they get a start over, and yes, it's kind of stressful. Yes, we see the corruption coming out. But you know, there's one thing about this card that's significant, and there's a little picture right there in the knapsack of this little fellow. There is a phoenix. Now, the phoenix rises from the ashes. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of element in this, and the reason the sun is white is because it is void. The null is void. You're starting over. How appropriate for today. How appropriate for this time. Tomorrow, on the 18th, we start hearings on these motions, and oh my, I'm going to be here for it. You see, there's another little something about this card. This fellow, and don't mind the little scratch there, but this fellow has a red plume that's coming out of his little cap. He's got a feather in his cap. That means there's an accomplishment. That means the defense has something that they're going to bring to the table. They have a lot of things that they're going to bring to the table. The reason that it's red is because, well, there's a lot of passion, compassion, love, and even control in that particular card. So now, as we go forward, we're going to shuffle again and put that card back into the mix. And we're going to see what is coming out. Here we are. Oh. Sorry, I don't mean to giggle during a, yeah. But I have to, because that's pretty awesome. These go to the side. We're going to take these down for a second. We definitely have the courthouse here. Let's not forget that card. And we're not going to forget Karen's card here. This Tower card. This is the CW who have built their case on sinking sand. Without foundation, without merit, and without evidence, without factual evidence, grasping at straws until the whole tower comes toppling down. And we are about there. We are about there. Within the next 30 days, you're going to see some maybe even jaw-dropping things that will happen with the CW. And it could be part of their ridiculousness. It could be part of more evidence that surfaces, and yet nobody has seen it before. I'm here for it. I know you are too. This Knight of Pentacles. Now the Knights. The Knights are those that take orders from a higher up. Someone in government, could be a kingdom. The messengers, who are pages, give out the messages, and the Knights are the action cards. Now the Knights, in many cases, can be law enforcement or the law. And I believe, now I don't think this is a stretch, because this is a card that basically this little knight is standing there on his little horsey. He's got a pentacle, which is coins. He's not going into battle because his face shield isn't down, but he's prepared to take some backlash. He's showing up, I believe, because this is a direction, stay with me, from the DA's office for an ADA, aka #Hank, to continue on with the motions and cost Karen money. That is about to backfire. That is about to backfire. Because I have seen in several places there's going to be a benefactor come forward for Karen, if not already, that drops some big coin. And that's the action that will be taken in this. Because here's the thing, this is the CW. See, we're seeing what their plan is. We're seeing what they're doing. This is the CW, and we've seen this before in the Mythic Tarot, where there's a young lady and there is someone running away. We see him, the back of him in the columns, and yet all of the cups seem to be broken that she is looking at. However, there are two left. This is a card of regret. This is a card of not so much guilt, because I don't think the CW feels any guilt, in my opinion. But this is a card of knowing that the path they have been on is broken. And they've tried several things. Motions, indictments, and yet they forget about the strength of the evidence that they block, they stand in front of, and the strength of it for the defense. Exculpatory, I think, is what Alan Jackson said. This bridge here, They could bridge the gap. The CW could bridge the gap with the defense, but yet they want to come out salty, snarky, and snippy. The water here tells us this is water of life. It continues to flow. So does truth. They're not going to be able to withstand what is going on, regardless if jurors come forward. What do we learn from the jurors? Well, I think in this last trial, the DA ordered ADA Lolly to drag this out with 76, I believe, plus or minus, witnesses to make the jury tired. All of this about where did you sit at the waterfall, how did you... What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Thing. This is also the CW and the stance of the CW. Let's not forget that even though we have our particular feelings and opinions about Hank Brennan and Lolly and D.A. Morrissey, all the meatballs, all the hankies, all the lollygags, they are definitely a worthy opponent. And they stand still ready for more to come. And there will be, because this sword card is an indication. You see the little dots there? Those are birds flying. Birds are the spirit animal of the sword suit, and it's all about communication. It's all about thoughts, deeds, communication, and the sword cut both ways. You can tear down or you can build up. But with this sword, with this page, who is announcing, you see he's standing there, he's announcing what he's going to do. The knight is taking action, but this little guy is pretty much made an announcement with this Rule 48, and we're not going to find out about that really. That's a sanction that the CW has filed against the defense. We don't really know. We can speculate. I don't like to speculate. We're going to wait until tomorrow to see what that really is. They're pointing the finger. And yet, hello, when they point the finger, what happens? Well, you got several pointing back at you, right? Hello? This sword going off the frame of the card tells us that the CW says, oh, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We're taking a stance. Bring it, defense. But they don't know what they call into play. Because today is a significant day. Extremely significant. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, we're going to lay these out. Now, brace yourself, my darlings. If you want to take a break, if you want to get a little drink, we'll wait on you. Because, you know, this is a Zelda video, and I can't do anything in less than 12 minutes normally. So here we go. The Four of Wands, a fiery element of which fire cleanses. And it does sometimes. But the 1111 is an angel number, which means the divine is watching. God is watching. The universe is positioning itself per God's direction in order, because you know the old Napoleon saying that I always say, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. AKA the Zelda version is, don't stop your enemy or the CW when they're screwing up so bad that they're making a big show of it. And that's what they've done. This is a card of a home, the house card, where there was merriment and jealousy and a crime. This card, the fiery King of Wands. You see this? This is an energy that is now overtaking this case. One thing about this little salamander. You see him there? Cute little feller. The one thing about a salamander is they say, I don't know if it's true, don't try it, I don't plan on it, is that he can go through the fire and come out unscathed, not even singed. Now, is that true? I don't know, but he sure is the spirit animal of the wand suit. And you see, he's even got a little picture up in here, some motives on this tapestry behind the king. The king not only has a crown, but he has this red cloak on. The red. The full red. Passion, compassion, control, even love. The green, of course, is for money, but let's pay further attention. What is his little shoes? Well, they're not really shoes. They're part of an armor. And he sits there, he's sitting up on his throne because he knows that there's a cleansing about to take place, and a cleansing of this case, and there's a fire element, and this is a project to him, and he's watchful, really, at the direction of the divine. He's ready to take it on, and you see how he sits there. He's at the ready. So then if he has to shed his cloak and show his full armor, he's ready for the fight. I like that spirit. Here we are, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, our lives go in waves, okay? They can go up, or we're doing really great, and then they can come down. And we have to prepare for both cycles, going up and coming down. Now remember, we're seeing what's going to be happening here with the CW, and we see what's coming about. So do the heavens. These little fellows in all four corners, you see? They've got little books. They've got little pencils. They're writing things down because nothing goes unnoticed. That means truth. That means evidence. That even means corruption and fraud. This is a divine card. And even though the CW feels that they're on the upswing, they forget who really is in charge. Because this card spells out T-O-R-A. It spells out the Torah, which are the first 5 books of the Bible written by Moses, and also in the Greek referred to as the Septuagint. This really means that all of these things put together, that the CW has been put on a spiritual notice to either straighten up and fly right or else. Now, is this going to be an easy peasy thing? No. But the more, when, I'm to the point that with anyone on the CW, in my opinion, when they open their mouth, I expect a lie or a mistruth, their version of a truth, their perception of a reality, which isn't true. The other thing about this card, they're put on notice because the symbols in between those letters of T-O-R-A spell out the name of God in Hebrew. Now, this can be a dark card. And in this particular case, it doesn't have a lot of light other than our Father's in charge. But you see this little fellow right here? He's the keeper of souls. Now, he, as well as our Father and the universe, are keeping track. And this fellow up above here, sitting on this, he decides when the wheel turns and when it doesn't turn. And he also has a sword. He's ready to use it. And this little snake, well, we know there are plenty of snakes in the CW, aren't there? Slithering in, slithering out, the serpent. Wow, what a narration today, Zelda. Here we are, and you know what? I just picked this up. I looked on the bottom of the deck, and hello. That's why we're really here. Because we want justice for John, and we also want Karen freed. Do you have your snack yet, my darling? Do you have your drink? Do you have your tea? Whew. Yeah, this is something. The spirits are moving today. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of sadness about this case. And there's a lot of loss. And it was the loss came from anger. Our friend, the hidden deck. Kind of a funky little deck. Got some little messages, and look what fell out. And you know how we talked about costing Karen money. The one thing they don't realize is a lot of these attorneys, like Robert Alessi, is doing it pro bono. I'm not sure about Mark Federow, but I know Robert Alessi says that he is pro bono. What a help. Serving justice. The 5 of hearts and the 10 of clubs. Well, there's some decisions that need to be made about money. But the reason being is because this is a card of lump sums of money. Meanwhile, back at the CW ranch, they realize that there are so many people that are donating to Karen, they can't keep up. And yes, that is the yes card. This will continue. This 9 of hearts equal to the 9 of cups in the tarot, pardon for the repeat there, means that this is the wish fulfilled, the dream come true, and the desire of the heart and the goal achieved. Karen will be okay. She's going to come out of this. I mean, she's kind of like that little salamander, you know? She's going through fire, and that's why. Other than this case being a total legal joke, this 5 of diamonds of spades is a card in which it tells us there's a lot of frustration, not getting your point across, not being able to watch someone comply. And then why? Well, this joker, out of the 2 jokers, is the worst one. There are secrets. Secrets that the CW has been holding back. They're wanting to present them as though they are golden, as factual. In the meantime, trying to get all of Karen's experts thrown out, which won't happen. The feds don't want this happening. But they see what's going on. They see the farce that is taking place. Pardon me. Let's get a final message from this Kipper card. And then I'm going to tell you what's going on. Child. Unexpected income. A brand new beginning coming. There are more funds. The unexpected income, I believe, is this benevolent person who will be dropping a lot of money in Karen's way. Bless that person in advance. Say a prayer for that person. Bless them in advance. Let's manifest that and bring that forward. And let's just be in thanksgiving for that. Because this courtship means that there is a dedication there. There is a commitment there. And a commitment that we cannot refute. All right. These two cards. This Judgment card is a card of Pluto, the planet Pluto. This Star card is the sign of Aquarius. Pluto goes into Aquarius, starts that transit today, February 17th of 2025. There are no accidents, because this Judgment card, and I also like to call it the Discernment card, is a karma card. It shows corruption. It brings corruption to the light. It brings all of these situations to the forefront so we can judge, we can see. And this Aquarian Star card is a card that complements this whole entire transit. It is so amazing. So in a nutshell, what this really means is corruption is being brought forward. The old systems are crumbling. The people will not stand for it any longer. And there is about to be a transformation. Just like that Fool card. Just like the Fool card said. Watch for it, because you're going to be seeing it. And quite frankly, when I turned on a few little programs that I normally watch to get world news that are independent, the amount of corruption that has been coming out over the weekend and today already worldwide is jaw-dropping, is astounding. This is a time of transformation. This is a time where people now are not going to put up with this. So I want to tell you just a little brief story. There once was a young man who was betrayed by his family, who they told a lot of lies about, who they told a lot of things, well, that just, again, wasn't true. This young man had to go be with another family. Actually, he was a slave with another group of people. And as time went on, he proved himself. He proved himself to a king. The deal is, my darling, this is Joseph, the story of Joseph in the Bible. And at the end of his time and of his day, where he finally was able, after all of this corruption, and he actually ended up being a leader where the corruption happened, was surrounded by everything that he had lost and more. So he was gifted tenfold. And you know what he said? You can look at it, Genesis chapter 1, verse 50. What was meant for my demise, what was meant for evil, God turned to the good. Let this be a lesson to us. Have faith, my darling. Have some tea. Subscribe. If you want a reading with me, click the links in the description. And we're here for it. I'm wishing you the best day ever. And I'm going to see you very, very soon. Stop by Manifestation Monday today at 1 o'clock on Crime Time with True Oracle. And I'll see you very, very soon. I hope this helps, because you should have a lot of faith. It's not going to happen. It's going to crumble in front of our eyes. Thank you for being here and for watching. Bye for now.